Hey, so driver's license.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Carson started driving, that
Yeah.
was it. I don't know why. Maybe because I knew that she kind of just understood responsibility a little bit more. But she was already a responsible kid and was a little bit worried about like getting in trouble, like
Oh,
paranoid in. And so she
right.
was pretty good. Now, once she got her license, that paranoia went away real quick. She had no problem
No
doing her own
fear. No.
thing and making a couple bad decisions. Um, but yeah, so I took her to get her license. I'll never forget it. We got pictures. It was just awesome. She was sitting there and she's got her license and big smile. And so I
Yeah.
let her drive home, obviously, and we're driving home and uh, we get home and she's like, "Hey, can I take the car out for a little bit?" And I was like, "Well, yeah. What are you gonna do?" She's like, "I don't know. Like, go get Starbucks or something." And I was like, "All right. How long are you gonna be gone?" And she's like, "About like an hour and a half." And I was like, "Okay." And she was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Hey, you got your license." I said, "So," I said, "Go ahead." I said, "Don't wreck my car. I gotta go to work tomorrow."
Right. Right.
So she drives and she comes back like an hour later, and she comes in and I'm like, "Oh, that was kind of quick. I figured you'd be out for 3 hours, like any." But I'm thinking like when we were teenagers, like we got the car, like we're gone. You're
Right.
gonna have to beg us to come back. Um, so yeah, she comes back and then she tells me last year, like years later, this is what she was a sophomore. She was like, "So you remember the first day I got my license?" I said, "Yeah." And she says, "Well, I was driving up by the green and I pulled out in traffic and I almost hit somebody and I panicked and I like hit the gas and I almost hit somebody else. And then I like turned left and just like pulled off into a parking lot." And she goes, "I sat there for like a half hour and just like decided if I should call you to come up and I was like, "Well, I didn't have a car." Like that's the whole thing. So she goes, then I drove back home and I was real safe and I was going so slow and I was like, "Yeah, I mean, that's the way it is." So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure there's probably a lot of those stories in my